Yes.
That was a lot.
Yes. It was a lot, wasn't it?
Yes, it very much was.
Excuse me, it purposely was a lot. Today, November 10th, 2020, you are watching the Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. And we danced so much today because we have a lot to be celebrating. Again, today is November 10th, 2020. You're watching the Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show, broadcasting live from Atlanta, Georgia, through Status Network, the future of broadcasting. And where do we broadcast live, Cameron?
In Atlanta, Georgia,
on Roku,
Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and a plethora of others.
And Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, plethora of others, Fire Stick. Anywhere there's social media, you will find Status Network, the future of broadcasting. Broadcasting live out of Atlanta, Georgia. And we danced so much today, just now, so happily, just like everyone around the world has been dancing in the streets. Why? Because we have a new president-elect and Vice President, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Oh my goodness, the nightmare is over. Number 45 is out. He's fired. He's gone. I don't even want to say his name. You know who I'm talking about.
He's refusing to leave, though.
Oh, is he refusing to leave?
Yep.
How so?
He doesn't want to leave the White House.
Okay, elaborate.
I mean, there's not much to say. He won't leave the White House. Sooner or later, they're going to have to kick him out. They're going to have to evict him.
So why are you saying that? What makes you think he doesn't want to leave?
Because I saw it on the news.
And what were they saying? Tell me about the segment that you saw. What was it saying? Give us that information.
They specifically just said that he wasn't leaving the White House. I don't know why, but maybe he just doesn't want to lose his president job, which is understandable because being the president is a really great job. Mm-hmm. It has a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of pressure, but you're still going to enjoy it at the end of the day. So,
well, how did you feel about that man being our president?
I didn't like it.
Why? What did you not like about him?
I'm not saying that I didn't like him because he was racist. Racist people are always and forever will be out there. Mm-hmm, that's just something that's going to be there. But he just wasn't a bad person. Well, wait, he was a bad person. He had a little bit of good ideas, but just the way that he said certain stuff, the way that he was talking, there was more bad stuff than there was good.
He had a negative air about himself, and that which he said always had a racial connotation attached to it. And anyone that thinks they are superior just because of whom God decided to put whatever race that they're going to be born into and what type of culture, and they think they're better than someone else, is always a negative. He always spewed racism and white supremacy and things like that, and we have all seen nationwide how there have been chokeholds who have been killing innocent people for whatever crime they committed. It did not justify for them to be choked to death and kneed to death to where they couldn't breathe. He has always spewed, again, white supremacy. His message always has a negative racial connotation attached to it. And as we've always been taught, it's really not what you say, it's how you say it. He always had a negative air about himself. And of course, we all know who we are referring to, and this is Donald Trump, president number 45, who is not graciously taking it so kindly and easily that he has lost. And the whole world has now taken a sigh of relief, and we are so thankful, so grateful that he is exiting. But again, we danced so much because we were just wanting to pay homage to those who have been dancing in the streets in Atlanta, California, Paris, London, Las Vegas, Arizona, Texas, Utah, all across the nation and the world. They have been celebrating and dancing in the streets because we are now finally getting rid of Donald Trump.
And that's really saying something. All those people. And if you weren't exaggerating, even all the way down in Paris and maybe even Africa, that's really worldwide. Something for people worldwide to hate his guts.
And it's not so much as we hate his guts, we just hate his actions. We dislike his attitude, and we dislike all the negative messages. Again, the children, he separated the Hispanic children from their parents for those who didn't have citizenship. And we just see on the news last week the children are in cages. So again, that type of policy is not humane, nor is it positive, a positive impact for anyone. Again, everything that he does always has a negative connotation attached to it. That is never positive. Never positive. Go ahead. We have a caller.
Welcome to the Side. Tell us, Children's Talk It Out TV show. Please state what city and state you're calling from.
Hi, this is Cece calling from Bronx, New York.
Hey, Cece. Thanks for being one of our faithful callers.
Yes.
What do you have to say this
Hi,
show?
Cece. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good evening, Bye.
Aw.
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for calling, faithful caller. We really appreciate you, honey.
You're welcome. So I'm just listening in and just really just being thankful. You know, the country is extremely excited and overjoyed
Yes.
that, 74 million of us
Yes. Oh,
are
goodness.
overjoyed and thankful that, Biden is the president-elect of the United States. And there are so many people around the world, that were watching. I have a friend in South Africa, and she was like, "Did y'all vote?" I was
Of
like,
course
"Yeah,
we
we're
did.
just waiting for the, votes to be tallied." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm praying for you all, because they, were seeing, unfortunately, the show that was going on here in the United States because of our president, Trump, and there's a lot of things that we can say about Trump, but as a Christian, God is always in control. Even when he was elected 4 years ago, he knew what would take place. He even knew the outcome of this election. But,
Yes.
we're definitely overjoyed and thankful. However, there's still a lot of work to be done. Biden and Kamala, thankful they're there, but, once they're in the office, are they really going to be working to serve the people, And, of course, we have to, the Democrats, need to gain the House, because without the House being on board, certain things won't be able to come to pass as far as various different policies and things like that. So, it's a step. It's one step towards, many that need to come after and follow that, but it's a step in the right direction. But you're right, Si. So many people were just overjoyed here in New York City, in Brooklyn, Bronx, Harlem, Queens. People were literally just dancing in the streets.
Yes.
And I did see that even in Atlanta, Georgia,
Yes.
California and other places where people were just so elated. It's like it literally is like a monkey or a bird and lifted off of your back, Now, we're still waiting for him to concede. He hasn't done that yet, but that will be to determine, how he will leave the White House. But it definitely is, a joyous time for everyone now, but this is when the real work begins.
Exactly. Exactly. So how do you think the transition is going to be? Because, again, we're reading in the news articles a lot that Trump is not going to leave easily. What do you think about that? Do you think he's going to make it an easy transition, or he's going to make it just as chaotic as it's been as he's been in office?
He already has made this transition not an easy one. I was watching today, I subscribe to various different news articles and clips, and they were saying, like, this is how, you're supposed to concede, and showing different other running political parties that were running that had to concede. But, he's going to, unfortunately, I look at him as a child that has a temper tantrum. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to have said that, but, he's going to try to sue and say all the votes were a hoax. And I hope it does not come to the point to where they have to, have him be removed from the White House. I hope they don't. I hope it doesn't come to terms like that, because he's still a person, right? God says to pray for even your enemies. So
Exactly.
I hope it doesn't come to that, but I would not be surprised if it does come to that, if he has to be dragged out or led out by authorities.
Well, and the thing about it is, I truly believe there is some mental illness there, because, again, his behavior is not normal. It really is.
Oh, he's definitely a narcissist.
So there really is some type of mental
Borderline
illness.
personality disorder,
Yes.
There is.
Schizophrenic, triple, double personalities, bipolarism, except that he's always negative. At least when you're bipolar, you can be up and down. He's always up. He's always just negatively spewing such words of hatred. And he wants separation. He doesn't want unification amongst the people. He doesn't want peacefulness. He doesn't want equality for all. You know, he really wishes this was a communistic country. He really does. I really, truly believe that if he could take it back to slavery, he really would. He really would.
Right. And I think, I think that's why so many people were relieved, especially people of color.
Yes, yes.
Because 4 more years, who knows what would have happened if he, would have been reelected. And also those that believe in, that share the same beliefs as he does, whether it's through racism, socialism, sexism, xenophobia, all of that. It gave them, they already had a platform, unfortunately, but it gave them the level of comfort to stand on that platform in society, like blatantly in public,
Exactly.
So I think that's why, I remember when he was first elected, I had some friends that are African descent, and they were just boo-hoo crying. It was like, you don't know what this means for us and our family that are trying to come here, or even those that are here that are trying to gain citizenship. Like, you don't know what this means for us. Everyone was literally afraid and scared for their lives. So, yeah.
Exactly. What do you feel about Kamala? And she's going to be our vice president. How do you feel about that?
I'm definitely excited. She's a black woman,
Yes.
Jamaican Indian descent.
Yes.
I'm not too familiar with, her work as the attorney in California, so I know I have some friends that are on the fence, with her. But, again, we'll see what's going to happen once they are both in office. But I'm excited. I already booked my hotel to attend the inauguration.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Be a part of history in D.C. So hopefully, again, now is when the real work begins with President-elect and Vice President-elect. So.
Exactly. I can't wait. And I just look so forward. It's like the whole world has sighed in relief, just a sigh of relief.
Everyone's just so thankful that we got Trump out of there. I mean, Biden's probably pretty good. I mean, if anything, he's better than Trump,
Oh, we know that. I mean, he was a vice president up under Obama.
Yeah.
And Obama and Biden together cleared the national deficit. The first time it was ever cleared down to zero was up under, don't tell me, Hillary's husband, Clinton, Bill Clinton. So, and then also Obama, he also cleared the national deficit. Lord knows we saw what happened to the deficit when Trump was in office,
Yeah,
He just
I think it's one of those things that people feel like lesser of two evils, right? And I think that's why a lot of people didn't vote last time, which is why Trump became president. A lot of people weren't in agreement with Clinton, with their history, even under the Clinton administration and Hillary Clinton. So, but I think this time people saw that it literally was a matter of life and death. But again,
it was.
A lot of people may not be in agreement with Biden and Harris, but it was life and death. But again, the real work begins once they're in the office, and hopefully they will do us justice. Hopefully they will live up to their plan of wanting to really unite and to work for the people, And, I am a black woman of color, so there are a lot of things that, hopefully that we can see that is for the people.
Well, and then as you say, 74 million people voted for him. And, of course, a lot of people of color voted for him, but there are a lot of Caucasians that voted for him as well, because we as a minority could not have put him in office. And if you saw the speech that he and Kamala gave the other day, the majority of those people in Delaware were white. So again, there are not all white people, all Caucasians are not racist. So just as many whites wanted him out of office as well. I mean, he was an embarrassment to their culture. He really, truly was. And if I'm not mistaken, you don't see his children being as publicly outspoken in the past few months. Because I'm sure they know that, they respect their father, but just because you are an adult and a parent don't mean you can't act idiotic and your children can still be embarrassed of you. But they respected him by not saying anything negative, as they should not have, just to honor their father. Well, as they say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump Jr. is, definitely in the public eye and, in agreement with his father. So some of his children are, but again, I think that he's, a person that many people feel they have to pacify, and to really and not tell him the truth. And that's really unfortunate that those that are in his camp aren't being realistic and, and his publicists and things like that. But again, he could just be one that says, I'm going to do and say what I want, like it or not, and they chose to like it. So it's going to be interesting to see, once he concedes, how many of the Republicans are going to come forward and say, we weren't in agreement and blah, 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 and all these things. So that's going to be interesting. How many people are going to come out with books and things like that. So
exactly.
Time will tell.
A lot of his staff, I'm sure, are going to have a tell-all. Again, they just don't want to do it while they're up under his reign presently, but a lot of them have some real great stories to tell. I don't see what society really had against Hillary. I understand some of the things that they said, but they still should have voted her in more so than putting Trump in there. And as I said throughout the whole election, Trump made Sarah Palin look like a godsend. Remember 15, 20 years ago when we all ridiculed her? Because, she just seemed a little dingy. But guess what? She wasn't negative. She wasn't racist. She wasn't spewing hatred. She wasn't spewing equality. We just thought she just was a little bit not as intellectual as we would like for her to be. But she was not a negative person at all. She was for the people. She really was. I mean, she was a kind person. She would have helped our nation be in a much better place it is today than what he has done. She would have done a much better job. So again, Sarah Palin made Donald Trump look like a godsend. I just want to thank all the Americans that voted for Biden and Kamala. Because again, we as a culture of a black nation could not have put him in office all by ourselves. So what we thank the Caucasians, we thank the African Americans, the Asians, the Latinos, the Jamaicans, everyone. We humbly, graciously thank you for electing Biden and Harris for the next presidential office in 2021. So Cece, you got to be sure and send us some pictures once you attend that inauguration, that swearing in ceremony. That really truly is going to be an excellent treat. So I would love to see those photos. Cameron, I wanted to ask you, how do you think things are going to impact you and the children of your age now that we have Biden, who's going to be our next president, and also Harris? Or let me retract that. How has it been, or what have been some of the topics of conversation that the children your age have said or discussed about Trump? Because I know they see the news and they read some of the articles about certain situations and certain policies and really unfair crimes he has per se put on us as a nation by being unequal for everyone. So what have been some of the topics of discussion amongst your children in your age group? What have they said about Trump being in office?
In my opinion, you know how Trump had schools shut down when there were a little bit of cases, which was really good because a little can still grow because kids can get it, bring it home to their parents.
But he didn't want people to wear masks. And when he was having rallies and all of that, a lot of the followers and himself, they didn't wear masks. And every time there would be a rally somewhere, there would always be more so an outbreak of the coronavirus. So what did you guys think about that when he wasn't trying to implement a policy that would be really positively impacting to the people to keep them alive? Because again, let us not forget the coronavirus is killing people of all ages and all races. It's not the young, it's not the old, it's everyone. So how did you guys feel about that when you saw here this man is leading our country, but yet he's trying to dictate to us that we don't need to wear a mask to keep ourselves alive? How did you all feel about that?
I'm sure we're all very aware that masks are very uncomfortable to wear. Especially if you have glasses. Glasses can really get annoying. You breathe, fog gets in your glasses. I don't wear glasses, but I know my grandmother here does, and I know she gets real annoyed with it sometimes. I feel like Trump. I feel like he did what we wanted him to do instead of what we needed to do, at least somewhat. For example, we know we all didn't want to wear masks. It was uncomfortable. Nobody liked it. Mask here, mask there, no matter where you go.
But that was a matter of life and death, though.
Exactly. But Biden, he's enforcing people to wear he's forcing people to wear masks, which is really a good thing. Most people may be annoyed with it, but it's for their own good.
So do you think the children will be more in agreement with whatever policy that Biden is going to implement, knowing that his intentions are always going to be positively impacting us and for the betterment of us and to keep us healthy and prosperous? Do you think the children will be more in agreement to being obedient to whatever directive he gives, knowing his intention is positive?
I mean, I will. I can't speak for every other million children in this world. I know that I would wear my mask everywhere I go. If I don't have a mask, do like this in the store in case I forget my mask.
I've done that too if I had forgotten my mask, especially if I'm in the car with someone else, because I always keep my mask in my car. And if I don't have a mask, and that's the first thing I do is walk in, like that. Because again, I don't want to catch their germs, and I definitely don't want them to catch mine. As I've always said, I like my dirt. I don't like anyone else's, and I sure don't want anyone's germs that could possibly kill me. And I don't want to spread anything like that to them. Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have a topic since we're on the coronavirus.
Okay.
If you've been watching the news lately, you've seen that there has been a coronavirus vaccine. They have a 90% effective cure. It's not 100%, but it's 90%, which is better than nothing. What do you think about that vaccine? Do you think it'll work? Would you take that risk?
Honestly, right now, no. Why? Because again, this is something that has just come about, and I need to see percentages and statistics that prove that this is truly a vaccine that can truly help someone, and not such a vaccine that was implemented at Tuskegee Institute trying to kill people. Because unfortunately, we've been under such a negative reign of Trump that I feel as though I'm not trusting anything yet right now that you're telling me that's going to help me, because I'm going to be thinking, well, maybe you're just trying to kill me. And again, but I'm one of those people where I'm not taking the flu shot. I took the flu shot 20 years ago and I almost seemed like I died. But I'm a healthy person. I'm almost 60 years old and I take no medication. So I'm good. Okay, only thing I need to do is stop smoking cigarettes and lose 25 pounds. I'm not one that has high blood pressure. I can't even think of ailments. I don't have any ailments. I need to stop smoking. I need to lose 25 pounds. So I am not going to be one of those first guinea pigs jumping in line to take a vaccine, because unfortunately, just because you have a certain title don't mean you are truly there to help the people. We have all read articles and seen news stories where Dr. This has been giving certain medications to kill their patients in the dental chair. Dr. This has been giving certain type of medications to kill some of their patients in the medical field. So I realize that just because you have a title in the medical field don't mean you are a Christian, doesn't mean you're there to heal everyone. So I'm going to have to sit back and observe and see what those statistics are as far as curing is concerned, because this is something that has just come about, in the past week or so?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, and again, this is my opinion, I'm not trying to dissuade or persuade anyone, but I, as of the moment, am not believing the hype. But says the healthy woman, okay? Yeah. I might get 2 headaches a year. And when I do get a headache, that alarms me, because again, those people that get headaches all the time, those are indicators. Please get yourself checked. Normally you end up having an aneurysm or a heart attack or a stroke. It is not normal people to have headaches, okay? So, but again, I'm very healthy. So I'm not one to run to the doctor. I believe in going to the doctor when I need to. But fortunately, I am not a sickly person. And knock on wood, thank God, no one in my family, you or my siblings or their children, have caught the coronavirus. So, and I think that really derives from my mom's genes. She was very, very healthy. And I know that's what's keeping all of us really relatively healthy, because it truly is part of your genes, part of your chemistry, and part of your makeup. So, yeah, great that they have a cure, but I'm not going to be running in that line to take that shot, because I'm sitting here thinking, well, maybe it's a shot that's going to give me coronavirus, which is what the flu shot does. It gives you the flu so it can counteract. No, I'm good. I don't have anything, so I don't need anything right now. I'm not downing it, but no, I would not. I would not be taking that shot or medication, no.
If I were 18 or older, and I would take that vaccine, only because I'd rather take that chance than not have it. I'd rather take that chance than wear my mask everywhere and just have to wash everything down, which is no big deal, but still, it does get annoying every now and then. But I also have another question relating to the coronavirus.
But I also want to say this, that just because if you take the shot and you don't want to wear a mask, and you've taken the shot and you don't wear a mask, everyone else around you has not taken that shot. And just because everyone has not taken that shot, and some of them are still not wearing masks,
No,
you're
I'd
still
still
not
be wearing.
safe.
I'd still be wearing my mask after I took the vaccine, but I just make sure to clear. Like even though you do have a mask on, there's still a percentage that you could get the coronavirus.
Right.
I'm just making that percentage a lot lower.
Right. I understand what you're saying. Okay, but what else were you going to say? I'm sorry.
My question relating to the coronavirus.
Uh-huh.
There are probably millions of people in the world thinking the same thing that you think.
Of course.
What if there's too many people thinking that and nobody takes the vaccine? What would happen? What do you think would happen?
My thing is, even if the coronavirus never existed, even if we don't have cancer, even if we don't have AIDS, even if we don't have this, and I eat a piece of lettuce and a salad every day, guess what? You've heard me say this.
You are what you eat.
We're still going to die. So people kill me with that. And I'm not saying, oh, live and let live, do whatever you can. No, try and be healthier. Again, I do want to lose weight. I do want to quit smoking. That's why I buy a pack of cigarettes a day. Every pack is a last. So I know I'm getting better. I don't buy cartons anymore. But my thing is, people act like, oh God, if you do this and eat that, it's going to prolong your life. Well, I've always believed in what's called predestination. And what that means is, however you're going to die, that's however you're going to die.
God
Whether
makes
it's
up
cancer, yes. I believe before our spirit is even planted in our mother's womb,
God
which
makes
determines who our parents are going to be, which determines who our nationality is going to be, which determines what country we're going to be born in, whether it's a third world country or not. It's predestined when we're born and when and how we're going to die.
Because God chose it. God
Exactly.
made everything. He has control
And that's
of
why to
everyone
me
and
it's
everything.
so ignorant and negatively unnecessary evil for someone to not like someone based on their culture or the color of their skin. We have no choice in that. Now, of course, there's some type of medication where if you're a dark complexion, you can take medication and become lighter. You're still part of that culture. You're still of that same race. But my thing is, I have never and will never not like someone based upon the color of their skin or their culture. But again, if we never had the coronavirus or any other illness, the point is, as we on this show believe in God, God kicked us out of the Garden of Eden after they ate of the tree of knowledge so they wouldn't eat of the tree of life. Had they eaten of the tree of life, then no one would have ever died. Unfortunately, and fortunately, it's a good thing that Hitler's dead. We don't want that type of character living forever. Praise the Lord, Trump's going to be dead one day. Praise the Lord that everyone has a death date. So again, I'm not taking that virus because, again, I'm healthy and I'm good, but it doesn't matter what we do, we're still going to die. And the Lord that I believe in, that's why he said, live each day to its fullest, treat everyone with kindness, follow the golden rule, treat everyone the way you want to be treated, and truly love and enjoy each other. That's why he created us, to be helpful and loving towards each other. And I can honestly say and believe, I think the majority of us care and treat each other that way more so than those who do not. Because had they not been positively impacting towards each other, I don't think we as a human race would be as far as we are worldwide. You understand what I'm saying by that? Okay, so I think there truly is more good than in bad. Again, this election proved that. And again, it was almost split down the middle, but it wasn't quite down the middle because look at who won. And that was every race who voted for him.
Georgia's still recounting their votes, aren't they?
It doesn't matter. He's so far ahead now that whatever's left, it doesn't matter. He's still going to win. God is able, okay? So what God has planned, no one can take from you. I honestly believe somewhat that God even put Trump in office to show us to be more appreciative of the finer things in life, the worst things in life, the simple things in life, how we need to be more appreciative of everything. I know my brother Jimmy said that it reminded him of when the coronavirus first happened. He said, wow, this reminds me of the 70s when going out to eat was a treat, when going to the movies was a treat, when going over your friend's house was something you deserved because you did all of your chores. It brought us back to the simple things of what truly matters: food, clothing, shelter, somewhere to live, people only around you who really matter somewhat, and that's who you're living with. He brought us back to the basics. No one can shut down the world in 72 hours with God. Worldwide, worldwide, worldwide. Every knee shall bow. And that was a soft warning, because he could do it like that and it's over. Okay? So again, we believe in God here. So, me and my grandson. So again, thus saith the Lord. So whatever medication they invent and all that, I'm just going to have to observe first. I've never been one to just jump in because Billy said. Doctor so-and-so said. I've been to doctors where I could tell that it seemed like, he might be a member of the KKK. So when they prescribe medicine for me, so I'm, you're borderline hypertension, you're borderline high blood pressure, you're borderline something else. And I looked at him like he was crazy, because I'm like, that month prior to me visiting him, I had really begun to really work out religiously and had lost like 20-something pounds. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm not taking this medication, because I found out later on in life as well that if you don't have an illness and you take medications, it can bring on that illness. Again, I don't believe people just because they have a title. I don't. We're all great, we're all irrelevant. So just because you are a doctor and attorney, Sion does not bow down to you. You need to make me really understand and trust you. But again, he just had a little negative KKK attitude about himself. And I was thinking to myself, and I always think catastrophically, because again, I prepare for the worst, I expect the best, but I prepare for the worst. I said, he's trying to kill me. And I was going to do Zumba every day for 6 days a week, me and my girlfriend Hazel, right after work. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if I'm borderline this and borderline that, why didn't I just fall out and have a heart attack a month ago before I started going to the gym? So then when I went to see him a few months later, and he asked me about, did you take the medication? I said, no, I did not. I said, because I didn't feel anything that you were telling me was true. I said, so therefore I refuse to take the medication you gave me. I said that the prescriptions are in my glove compartment. You could have them if you'd like. I said, but that which you told me, I didn't agree with that, period. And I wasn't going to take all this medication, because again, that would have brought on the onset of those illnesses. So no, not taking the coronavirus vaccine, no. And thankfully you're not 18 and you won't be taking it either. What else you want to say? Now we do have a studio audience guest that may want to have a question, doesn't want to be on camera, but sir, did you want to pose a question? You got to pull the mic up so they can hear you and turn it on. Yeah, turn it on. And you got to put it like this so they can hear you.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, is this mic
I
on?
just want to say thank you. And I hope you all have a great night.
Oh, you too, Cece. I'm sorry, I forgot you're on there. Love you. Thank you, Cece, our faithful caller. Toodle.
Okay. Goodbye.
Go ahead. You have to put it like this.
Testing.
Oh, wait, we have another caller. Hold on. You have to speak up. Thank you for calling the Side Tell Us Children Talk It Out TV show. Please state your name and what city you're calling from.
Hello?
Yes.
How y'all doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. And please state your name and what city you're calling from.
Emmanuel, from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, hi, Emmanuel. How are you? If you have me on speaker, take it off. Too much of an echo. Take it off speaker. Now I can hear you better. What were you saying, honey? Okay, maybe we lost him. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Emmanuel?
Dude, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Emmanuel, you have to take us off speaker and put the phone up to your ear so I can hear you, but take it off speaker because it's too much of a negative kickback. Can you hear me? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my question is to the panel. How do you all feel about us electing our first African-American woman and female to the vice presidency
I want to
of
answer
the
that.
United States? And by the way, she's not the first minority to be elected vice president. I believe the first minority was an Indian, a Native American, under the can't remember the president's name, but Herbert Hoover or somewhere along those lines. So I didn't realize that. But if you ever notice when they mention her achievement in the news media, they'll always say the first female or first female of color.
Right.
But they don't say the first minority. Thank you.
Okay.
I can answer that question first.
Okay.
How I feel about the first black vice president, who's also a female. We made history. And as we black people, we request a lot of things, like trying to ban certain stuff like chokeholds, white people pulling people over just because they're black.
Yes.
She can relate to those things, or she probably can, and she knows exactly where we're coming from. So she can speak for us. She can make those calls, make those decisions. So I believe that it will really, really impact the black community.
It will. It's going to positively impact the black community. And again, I just want to say thank you to our nation for all the non-minorities who assisted us in getting her and him elected. Because in order to vote for Biden, that means they accepted Kamala as well. We thank you for that. We do not take it lightly, nor do we ignore that. Again, you accepted them as a package. And you thought and realized that having a black female vice president was better than having two white racist supremacists in the White House. And I thank you for that as a nation. I thank all the non-minorities, all the Caucasians who voted for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. We could not have done it without you. And we acknowledge that. And we see, as they were marching in the street for Black Lives Matter, it wasn't just all Black lives marching. There were a lot of white Caucasians marching as well. So again, we appreciate you and thank you for that. Now, we do have a sound clip of Kamala when she gave her speech the other night, when she and Biden both, I guess, can we call it an acceptance speech? But we have the sound, may not have the video, but we have the sound. So it's going to be 3 clips back to back of Kamala. Listen to it. You're going to really enjoy it.
A better future. And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, with the very soul of America at stake, and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America. To our campaign staff and volunteers, this extraordinary team, thank you for bringing more people than ever before into the democratic process. And for making this victory possible. To the poll workers and election officials across our country who have worked tirelessly to make sure every vote is counted. Our nation owes you a debt of gratitude. You have protected the integrity of our democracy. And to the American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record numbers to make your voices heard. And I know times have been challenging, especially the last several months. The grief, sorrow, and pain, the worries and the struggles. But we have also witnessed your courage, your resilience, and the generosity of your spirit. For 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and justice, for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted. And you delivered a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth. You chose Joe Biden as the next president of the United States. Congressman John Lewis, before his passing, wrote, "Democracy is not a state, it is an act." And what he meant was that America's democracy is not guaranteed. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. To guard it and never take it for granted. And protecting our democracy takes struggle, it takes sacrifice, but there is joy in it, and there is progress, because to build a better future. And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, the very soul of America at stake, and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America. To our campaign staff and volunteers, this extraordinary team, thank you for bringing more people than ever before into the democratic process. And for making this victory, poll workers and election officials across our country who have worked tirelessly to make sure every vote is counted. Our nation owes you a debt of gratitude. You have protected the integrity of our democracy. And to the American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record numbers to make your voices heard. And I know times have been challenging, especially the last several months. The grief, sorrow, and pain, the worries and the struggles. But we have also witnessed your courage, your resilience, and the generosity of your spirit. For 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and justice, for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted. And you delivered a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth. You chose Joe Biden as the next president of the United States.
Yes, yes. As she was saying, we chose Joe Biden as our next president and Kamala Harris as our vice president-elect. What did you think about that speech she gave?
A really good speech. She had some really valid points.
Such as, give me one or two of the points that you liked that she said.
We're going to make America great again. You really are. We got Trump out of there. You're going to do some good things.
Exactly. And the thing that I liked about it, and the next show I'm going to play the clipping from President-elect Biden's speech. And the thing that I liked about both of their intentions behind their speech is that they realize that we as a nation have been bruised and hurt, and we need to heal. Because we have just been looked upon as any minority to be less than, to be treated unfairly. We have witnessed people being killed on TV filmed and killed, and no justification. And then those who were killed, their families were just in such sorrow. And then those who did the killing, they didn't have to pay for any time for the crime that they committed.
President didn't even say anything about it. They didn't talk to the parents. They didn't talk to.
Exactly.
They didn't talk to.
Exactly.
What's his name? George. Yeah, they didn't talk to George Floyd's. They didn't talk to his
Relative
family.
to anything.
Not at all. He just let it happen. He didn't. I don't even
Now,
think he mentioned
Obama
it.
even gave a little press conference once or twice about those types of killings.
Obama said something. He's not even the president.
I know, but we needed that compassion.
We really did.
We really did. Now, we hope you have enjoyed this show today. We are dancing in the streets. We're dancing in our homes. We're dancing at our jobs. And most of our jobs are at home right now. And I thank goodness for my job that cares enough about my life to keep me safe. And I've been working from home since March 19th. You know, I give God the glory for that. And you've been homeschooled, online learning since the end of February. So happiness and kudos to Cobb County. Now, some of the students have gone back to class. It's because they chose to do that. He won't be going because I chose for him to not be going back to school to learn right now. So he and I both are at home learning. He's being educated at home. I'm continuing employment at home by working from home. I'm a assistant to financial advisors in a brokerage system, you know, where you bet on the stock market and all that. I'm the one of those behind the scenes where I'm just moving money, submitting documents, things like that. Because the stock market doesn't close no matter what's going on in the world.
And I'm an 8th grader.
Yes, he's in the 8th grade. But we want to thank you for watching the Side Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show. We broadcast every second and fourth Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And our studio guest, what are you saying?
Just want to say hi.
You want to come on here and say hi? Well, pick up your microphone and say hi, because we're getting ready to close it out.
Go ahead, Shirley.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, my brother Jimmy is my studio guest audience today. Jimmy Dunn from Tulsa, Oklahoma, but's been living in Charlotte, North Carolina for how long now?
28 years.
Okay, 28 years. So, but my brother, he has been here visiting me for the past couple of days. And he's, again, our studio guest. But he just doesn't want to be on film right now. He's not as shy as I am. But we really want to thank him for being here. But again, always watch the Side Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show every second and fourth Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for those who have been watching. I see some questions on here that I've been answering with you. But as you know, the Side Tell Us TV Talk It Out Side Tell Us Children's Talk It Out TV show, we dance it in.
We dance it out.
Thank you, Status Network, the future broadcasting. Bye, you guys. Come on. We have a new president.